Hello, welcome to A Week in Watches, episode 39. My name is Blake Buettner. I'll be your host this week. This is our weekly look back at all the people, news, and stories from the industry. This week, we're leading things off with the Sinn T50. This is a new dive watch in the medium-sized format that we first saw in the U50. The T50 adds titanium to the mix, however, and something new and proprietary to Sinn called Goldbronze. There's even a limited edition T50 that is entirely made of gold bronze on a green fabric strap. Quite lovely. There's also a titanium with gold bronze bezel T50 and a full titanium T50 available. So this is a great platform. As we know, with the U50, it has the same case, the same dimension, so we know it's going to wear beautifully on the wrist. If you found the U50 a little too jarring because of that dial, you might find a lot to love with the T50. This features a pair of broadsword hands and slightly thinner hour markers for an all-around less aggressive look. It's still just as capable as the U50, so there's still a lot to love there, and it's titanium. The gold bronze is unique to Sinn and features a bead blasted texture that is mapped all around, really quite beautiful. It still uses the Sellita SW300, allowing for that slim fit on the wrist. So we've got a lot more of that one on Worn and Wound now live. You can check that out in the link down below. Next up, we finally have the release of the Nodus Sector Deep. This is a dive watch that we've been waiting for quite some time from Nodus. This is a very unique design from Nodus that I quite enjoy thanks to the bezel. The bezel is a bit wider than the case, which is about 42 millimeters across and 39 millimeters across at the case. The bezel itself is also unique in that it is bifurcating the information on the bezel. The outer section has a 60-minute counter and the inner section has a 12-hour counter. A really unique feature that I would love to see more brands play with. This is a quick adjustment in the clasp. It's got hour markers that are inset into the Rayhats, a little bit like the Pelagos, but this watch reads very much as its own thing, which is very good to see from Nodus. This is maybe the most unique design that we've seen from them yet. It's aided by the fully bead blasted steel case. There's a date at 6 o'clock. Always got to have that symmetrical dial, and it's only $575. So, you know, if you like the look of some of these more serious hardcore divers from Tudor or other brands, but you know, you need to be in that $500 to $600 range, this is perfect, and you're not really sacrificing much in the terms of capabilities either. Still goes 200 meters deep. That's plenty for me at least. This week's episode is brought to you by Quick Release, a new section of Worn and Wound dedicated to a wider variety of watches, gear, drops, and deals. Each and every day, somewhere around the world, there's a new watch dropping, product deal running, or event being hosted to celebrate the watches and gear we love. The folks who brought you Worn and Wound are launching a new service dedicated to discovering and delivering daily news, drops, event announcements, and deals on a wider variety of watches and gear. This new section of the site is purposefully designed for brands to sponsor coverage of their interesting and unique products. This section, which we're calling Quick Release, becomes a bulletin board for our partners to showcase their latest product drops, limited deals, promotions, event announcements, and more. Our commitment to our readers is that we'll curate a fun mixture of watches you might otherwise never be exposed to, along with the gear and everyday carry brands we love. Once a day, you can expect something fresh, distinctive, and informative. We'll be working with multiple brands across watches and gear to help tell those stories and elevate the products you might not have come across just yet. Quick Release is all about fun, fast product stories that are sure to delight day in and day out, with occasional deals just for our readers and followers. Subscribe to weekly Quick Release newsletter to get deals delivered to your inbox, and follow Quick Release on Instagram. And now, back to the episode. Next up, we're moving to a watch from Ochs Und Junior, a brand that doesn't get enough coverage, I think. We're all big fans of this brand around here for their unique point of view and the unique design style. They are introducing a 2-time zone watch that uses more than just a bezel and a fourth hand to give you the second time zone. This uses 12 distinct apertures that display an hour that is on a disc that you can rotate and set to your liking, which is a very unique take on the complication, and it's something that can all be controlled through the crown. Of course, this has their raw industrial design style that we know and love so much, so it's nice to see them doing new things like this. It is grade 5 titanium, it's 39 millimeters, there's not much of a lug there, so it wears really beautifully on the wrist. This is kind of a novel approach to this complication done in a very distinctive style that we love from a brand that doesn't get enough love around here. So go check that out from Ochs Und Junior. You've got more of that one on the site in the link down below. Moving on to something new from our friends at Farer. They have just released a collection of Moonphase watches in true Farer style. These are 3 distinct styles of watches that all feature the same complication that are built in the same case. This utilizes a 38.5 millimeter steel cushion case that gets a grain twist texture along the wall. This is something that Farer has been leaning into quite a bit recently, and I'm here for it. I think it looks beautiful in this application and kind of sets apart from the distinctive dial here. Something else to enjoy on the wrist. These dials are 3 distinct colorways, and they're all named after historic British figures, I guess I should say, from the astronomy and sciences, like Sir Edmund Halley, who discovered Halley's Comet. This is the midnight blue dial with Arabic numerals. We've also got Margaret Burbage in here with the light blue sunburst style and a pink moon, very distinctive colorway. I love this one. And there is also the Sir Arthur Eddington version, which gets a copper dial and Roman numerals. Now, what makes these watches interesting is the oversized, and when I say oversized, I mean this takes up almost the entire top half of the dial, the Moonphase here, and each moon gets its own color. It's quite distinctive. When it's a full moon, that's all you're going to see on this dial, and I think that's kind of the point here. It looks beautiful, and they each kind of recall something important to English heritage. Keeping things in the UK, finally, we have something new from Garrick with the S6. This is a further iteration of Garrick's traditional design language using in-house dials, hands, and finishes. The oversized sub-seconds at 6 dominates the look of this watch. It is a bit softer of a take from the S4, but it still offers you the chance to customize your watch to a pretty great degree, from the colors and finishes and textures on the dial to even the movement side. So this is using their caliber BF03, which is a heavily modified 6498 caliber. It looks quite beautiful. If you're familiar with Garrick's work, you know they do some beautiful finishing work, which is on full display around back. And of course, it's on full display on the dial side too. Now, the dials can be customized to your liking in terms of color and finishes. They offer a hammered texture, which is quite lovely and subtle. All of these are going to draw in for a closer look. There's also rose engine that gets very floral, emanating organic patterns that are quite lovely. And of course, the hands, the hour marker applications, these are all customizable by you. These are all fit within 42 millimeter steel cases, and prices range from between $6,000 and $10,000 approximately. But again, there's a lot of custom options that goes into these, so your mileage may vary on exact pricing. Really great way to experience some high-end hand-done textures without the massive price tags that go along with them. The order books are open right now, so go over to garrick.com if you're interested in buying one of these or speccing one out for yourself. Highly recommend it. And if you missed it, he had a beautiful collaboration with our friends at Fears last year. We'll link that down in the comments below. That is all the news for episode 39. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And until next week, take care.